Hi everyone. I want to look at secant graphs with you this morning. And so we're going to start out thinking about secant as the reciprocal of your cosine graph or cosine function. Okay. So similarly to the cosecant graph, if you work through that one, we're going to find out that the zeros of your cosine are going to turn into the asymptotes of your secant. Okay. So we're curious. When cosine equals 0, that's going to give us some asymptotes. Okay, because we can't have a 0 in the denominator, as you know. All right, so let's start this one out. Okay, I'm going to first have us draw a cosine graph. Okay, so just nice, pretty parent function cosine. We know cosine has a period of 2 pi. Okay, so I'm going to mark that out first. Cosine from 0 to 6.28. Okay, so then again, I'm going to put this one in gray just because it's kind of be in the background just a little bit here. So we know the cosine starts up 1, ends up 1. Okay, down to 6.28. At 3.14, we're going to drop 1. Oh, maybe. Okay, then halfway in between at the 1.57 we have a 0. Okay, and at 4.71 we also have a 0. Okay. And just for this one, I'm going to go ahead and back this up. Also, I know at 1.57, but let's pretend we go a negative 90 or a negative pi over 2 on the unit circle and swing that back around so I can pick up an extra 0 over here to the left. I know we haven't done tons of that, but let's back that up one as well. Okay, so we have our basic cosine graph that you're used to drawing. Okay, and I've added one backwards, just one. Okay, and actually to the right I could do that also down past the 6.28, but I think this is fine for what we want to do. Okay, so there we go. In gray, we have just your parent function cosine. Okay. All right, so now let's go in and mark our asymptotes. I'll put those in red. Okay, so the asymptotes are going to be where the cosine is 0. Okay, so I have one back here in this extra point I added for us. Okay, I have one here at 1.57, pi over 2. I also have one at 3 pi over 2, or 4.71. Okay, from there, knowing that secant is the reciprocal of cosine, okay, then we're just going to flip these over. Okay, so here's one piece of secant. Here's another one. Okay, and then if I started here, yeah, I think that would be okay for what we want to do. So there's some graphs for secant. Okay, I probably should say, all right, secant we put in blue. All right, not too bad. So it's just a matter of drawing your parent function, marking your asymptotes, drawing the reciprocal graph. Good to go. All right, so let's do a second one. Okay, and let's add some shifting in the process. So let's try one, how about y equals 2 cosine x plus 1. And then let's put in y equals 2 times the secant of x plus 1. Okay, so again, I'm going to start with the cosine. Okay, so then what do you know about this particular cosine? Well, its period is 2 pi. Okay, amplitude happens to be right there, so 2. And the 1 on the end causes us to move up 1, a shift up. So that means our midline is up at 1, y equals 1. Okay, in fact, I'll start with that. We always say put that midline on first. Okay, so there's our y equals 1. Then we're going to take care of the amplitude. Okay, so we want to go up and down to deal with that amplitude. Okay, so I'm going to go up 2 from the midline. Okay, so from the midline. I'm just going to take care of your vertical stretch for you. Okay, then we're going to go down 2 from the midline. Okay, up 2, down 2. Right? Then from there, we should be able to mark our period, which is still 2 pi. So I'm going to go from 0 to 6.28. Okay? And then we should be ready to draw cosine. All right, so we know at 0, we always go up. So in this case, we're going up 2. Same at the 6.28. Halfway in between, which is our 3.14, we're going to drop down. Okay. Okay, at the 1.57, we should have a 0, but remember it's on the midline this time. And at the 4.71, also on the midline. Okay, so here's our basic curve, like so. And I'm also going to back it up 1, 0, just like I did on the first graph. So I'm going to pretend I'm going down to negative pi over 2, and I'm going to have a 0 for cosine. Okay, so then I'm going to continue that out just a bit. Okay, so then to draw the secant, and if you notice it has the same period, same amplitude, same midline. Okay, it's just going to be the reciprocal. So I'm going to mark my asymptotes. Okay, so the asymptotes are the zeros of the cosine. 0, 0, 0. Okay, so here, here, and here. Okay, so the reds are the asymptote lines for us to draw our secant graph. Okay, so I'm going to shift that to blue. Okay, so I'm going to make our secant blue. So reciprocal of the cosine. So reciprocal and reciprocal. So I'm flipping it over. And yeah, I think that looks lovely. In fact, I guess we could put one part here if I want to while I'm at it. Okay, so that should give us in blue 2 secant x plus 1. Okay, these are awesome graphs. Okay, awesome, awesome. I guess I could have added this here too if I wanted to. Whee! Okay, little extra bonus feature. Okay, so all about secant, and I hope you have good luck with your graphs. Thanks for watching.